Hey guys, happy Homebrew Wednesday. This is Matt here from Brewery. It's actually on Wednesday this time, so I've changed my work schedule. Starting this week, I go into work at Friday night, so back to my night shift gig again. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights, so I'll be able to do these proper on Wednesdays again. So I pulled a couple of samples, one of which isn't really, a sample per se, because I've had it around for a little while. But the other ones I definitely wanted to see where they're at. So I pulled a sample. This is the newest Irish Car Bomb Stout that I have. So this one, I've gotten some flack on its name. I may rename it. I haven't quite decided whether or not I wanted to rename it or not. The name is it has nothing to do with with what I'm getting flack about overseas. It's just named after the name of the bar drink. An Irish car bombs in the bar is it's the whole thing with a Guinness and Bailey's Irish Cream and Jameson. You drop the shot into the beer. And, that's what this was named after because the ingredients of it are very similar to that. My cat kind of came in here, so she's messing around back there. I don't know. The audio of this phone picks up a lot of stuff, so I don't know if it's picking up any of that noise. But anyway, so this thing, I changed it up a little bit this time. There is Jameson in here as normal. There's vanilla in here as normal, vanilla beans. But I did something different. I didn't do a secondary. I saw what we did with when I did Wally's beer, the strawberry blonde ale. We waited until fermentation was done. And we chucked the strawberry straight into the primary. Man, that turned out really nice. I'm sold on skipping secondary now on some beers. I mean, there's of course a time and a place for it, but I think with what we did with adding the fruit, that worked out really good. So I decided to try something similar with this one. Now this is a stout, so it does benefit more from age. So it has been sitting in the keg for a little while now, probably a couple of weeks. But what I did was, instead of doing secondary like I normally do, and what I usually do is I take the beer, I rack it to secondary, I put a vanilla bean in the secondary, I put wood chips in the secondary, and I put Jameson in the secondary. Let it sit there for a couple weeks, and then I would go ahead and transfer it over to the keg. Well, this time I took my hop strainer thing that I have for the kegs, and I put the vanilla bean in it, and put that directly into the keg, poured the whiskey straight into the keg, and then rack the beer on top of all that, and that's what we have here. So we'll see if there's any major difference. I mean, other than that, the recipe is generally the same. So I did pay a little bit more attention to the water profile on it this time, because the last time I brewed it, I didn't as much. But no, it still has the it still has the roastiness, the chocolate aroma to it. It's very subtle, which is fine. That's kind of what this used to be. I don't really pick up much of the Jameson. I do pick up some like cream from it, like an Irish cream kind of a thing, which is interesting because there's no Bailey's in this. There's no lactose in this, so that's cool. Let's see what the tastes like. Yeah, I think if I were to do this again, I'll probably add more Jameson, because it's not as prominent as the last version. It's not supposed to be overtaking. It's supposed to meld real nice in with the Irish Stout base recipe that I have with this. You do get a little bit of the vanilla. I definitely notice a difference from aging it. So maybe maybe after this has been in the keg for another week or two, maybe I'll some of those characteristics will pop out. But I mean, other than that, it's turned out nice. So this might be one of those beers that can skip secondary also, given the right amount of ingredients going into the keg and given enough age and time in there. So that's pretty good. That's getting there. This one, this is the Yeast Experiment beer. It's getting clearer. It's not clear yet. It's still some haze in there. It's a really nice looking beer. So this is the Brew Tubers Yeast Experiment. Same recipe as everybody else, but I used OYL 200, which is the tropical IPA yeast from Omega Yeast, and I like this beer a lot. So I'd be really interested to see what the other brew tubers have with their versions with their yeast, to see if maybe I like a different yeast version better. But this one I really like, so I'm definitely going to rebrew this at some point. I don't know what yeast I'll use, but I'm going to continue with this yeast because I do really like this version of it, but I do want to see what the other ones are like, so I may find one that's better. So we have to ship these out probably, well, I guess it would be a little bit more than a week from now, right around that time frame, because it has to be to Gary by the end of the month. But this is on tap now, and I've been sampling this here and there. It's been hard to keep away from it. This is a very nice beer. I did name it. I'm calling it the Tropical Dean IPA. The reason I call it that is because, well, it's got a lot of tropical to it with that yeast. Well, Mike Dean was the control for the Yeast Experiment, so it just made sense to me. I've been naming my beers lately, so I'm gonna, the Irish Car Bomb Stout I named before. Rasputin's Beard was another beer that I used to name. There may have been one other one that I named, but other than that, I generally just name my beers after its style, so people knew what they were getting into. But it's fun. I'm going to start naming them. So, but yeah, it's got a lot of pineapple, mango notes to it. Very very tropical in the nose for sure. Very nice. So check it out. Cheers. Yeah, the taste follows it. It's it's very citrusy, very tropical-y in the taste as well. You get a lot of those same notes. You get the pineapple. You get maybe a hint of coconut. Definitely some sort of mango characteristics to it. It's very nice. Cat's messing with something back there. I swear I can't avoid the animals when I'm trying to do these videos. They're just drawn to the camera. They want to be nearby and making noise. Well, no, this is nice. This is a good one. So yeah, it'd be great to see what everybody else has. This one, I just kind of wanted to see where it's at. This is the strawberry blonde. There's not much left in the keg. I'm probably going to be kicking this soon if I keep drinking on it. It's probably got a few more pulls on it before it's done. But man, that thing is cleared out real nice. This is the beer that I did with Wally back in the end of October. It still has some strawberry, some melon characteristics in the nose. It's definitely subdued from when I first brewed it and from when it was still fairly fresh. But they're still very very much there. So, cheers. Yeah, and the taste is it's similar to what it was originally. It's definitely toned down some, but the taste is still you still get the strawberry, the melon sort of characteristics in the taste. The saison still kind of comes up front. It gives it a bit of a spice and a little bit of a peppery note to it, which is really really neat. It's definitely a different take on a traditional, I guess, strawberry blonde or blonde ale. So it's pretty cool when we use that saison yeast, and that gave it some interesting character. So yeah, that's another good one. I don't know if I'll ever rebrew that specifically as it is, but that's definitely another good one to know that the recipe that we used is good. I could probably use that as a base for other things, so that's quite nice. Other than that, for this week, the only updates that I really have for you guys, of course, we have the SJ4 challenge. I have 2 beers that I brewed for it. One I brewed on Sunday, which I'll cut to this at the end and give you some brew day footage of that. And I brewed another one the week prior. So I got 2 beers that are fermenting. One's pretty much done fermenting. The other one is still actively fermenting. Just a second. See if I can catch this cat. Nah, never mind. So with those, they're going on. They're doing their thing, and I'm just going to see which one turns out the way I want it. Both are brewed by the guidelines. Both have the 3 hops. Both have the adjunct, and we'll just see. I mean, whichever one I like better is probably the one I'll submit. So I doubt I'll brew another one for the competition. I'll just pick one of the 2 that I have, and we'll see where it goes. So yeah, registration for that ends the end of this month. So you definitely, if you haven't registered, you want to. I know I've talked about it, and I know others have, and so definitely get in on it. If you haven't already, go ahead and get in on it. This damn cat. Let's see, Yeast Experiment, of course, we just talked about that. And I don't have anything really lined up for brewing at the moment. I'm going to probably take a little bit of a break. You know, I was brewing a lot lately, every week for a while there, it felt like. So I'm going to give that a little bit of a break and kind of come up with some ideas. Not to mention I need to empty out my fermenters. So I'll give you a little bit of a prop here to Josh, because one of the things that I've been looking to do is decorate the brewery a little bit. I'm planning on hanging something up over here to have a little bit of decoration over the brewery area. I figured I'd use some of the stickers that I have, and Josh was very kind to send me a boatload of stickers and sort of tchotchkes and promotional things that he's gotten over the years. That I guess he has that he's had that are extra, and so he's donated to the cause. So thank you, Josh Hoover, for that. I will definitely put them to good use. I'll probably put all that stuff together, see what fits into maybe like a poster board of sorts, and you know, one of those frames, hang it up here, and yeah, just bring a little bit of color to the brewery. So with that, guys, that's it. Enjoy the brew day footage that's to come. There's not a whole lot of it, but there's some there. And let's see, which one should we end on here? Well, we'll go with the Yeast Experiment beer to end on. I really like this one. It's, you know, all tropical there. So we'll finish with this, and you guys have a great Happy Homebrew Wednesday. We'll see you guys on the next video, and keep brewing. Cheers.
Just filling up the hot liquor tank. And now filling up the mash tun. Put in the potassium metabisulfate. Get rid of the chlorine. Love this meter. Delivers exactly what you need. Alright, now time to set up the cables. Alright, and while I can't show you guys the recipe, because this is for the SJ4 challenge, just messing with the guys this morning here from the Yeast Experiment. I was measuring out my salts, and what's cool, it's behind that screen. I'm not going to show you the recipe, but it's a nice view of the beersmith, so I'm able to quickly see what I need and not have to worry about printing everything out like I was. Howdy, folks. I'm mashing that. Oh yeah, SJ4 beer. Wonder what it's going to be. Hey SJ, I'm just like you. This is my second one. I brewed one last week. I couldn't decide, and so I decided I'm going to brew 2, and whatever one comes out the best, that's the one I'll submit. So I'm right there with you, brother. Cheers, guys. Happy Saturday. This is beer number 2 that I'm brewing, because I couldn't decide which one I was going to submit. I had 2 decent recipes. I wanted to see how they both turned out. So I figured, well, I'll brew them both. And whatever one turns out the best is which one I will submit. Alright, mashed in. It worked out really nicely. I'm trying to hit 148, 150, somewhere in that range. I haven't quite decided it yet. But yeah, that brought us down to 146 after the cold grains went in. So yeah, we'll just have to equalize this out. We're mashing out SJ4 Challenge beer number 2. Sipping on the Yeast Experiment beer. I decided to dub this one Tropical Dean IPA, because Mike Dean was the control for this beer, and it's very tropical. Cheers. It's all tropical notes on the nose. It's awesome. I love that, man. It's a good one. You guys come up with this recipe. I love it. Well, I'm gonna get ready to start sparging. So see you guys later. Probably halfway through the sparge. Pretty good. Here goes the bittering. All right, flavor hops. All right, you guys intentionally did not see the end because that's where the adjunct went as well. Keep you guys guessing. So that's the end of the boil. Now we go ahead and chill this puppy down. All right, cooling her down. And we're gonna get ready to put it in the fermenter soon. We're down to 120 or so in the kettle. So, and then coming out of the chiller, it is currently sitting at around 80. So that's because I'm full bore too, by the way. If I crank that thing down, I'm going to easily get down to 60 on this because it's a little chilly today. But that's that. So I usually like to let this go down to closer to 100 in the kettle, and then go ahead and put it into the fermenter.